Okay, now I need to wait for it to catch up because it's on delay. So, I guess, okay. So, yeah, okay. I guess we're on. Everything is just delayed on the web. So, I guess I'll have to go in and edit out all the beginning weirdness, but I think everything is go. It's 5:07 and today is Tuesday and we are here for episode 78 of Tutorial Tuesday. This is a fully live episode and I drew this little sketch, which is really good because I already was planning it out in my head differently than the notes that I made. So notes are important. Let's just jump right into it. I've already prepped my canvas with a thin, even coat of liquid white. And then for my palette down here, which I'll have to add into the description later, I have titanium white, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, bright red, alizarin crimson, phthalo green, sap green, Prussian blue, and midnight black. I thought we would do kind of a nice golden hour sunset scene with some reflections, something just really cute and simple. So let us jump right into it. I'm going to pick up my 1-inch brush and some yellow ochre and start with a little bit of a sunset color here. I'm pretty excited to be painting. I had a class after my last recording, and I think that was the last time I painted, so like 4 weeks ago, had my oil paints out, and it's been a little while. So new studio, new setup. I have a window, which is nice, so if we do some paintings during the day, we'll have some nice light, but the sun has already set. So we're just going to play with some of those colors like a sunset. Pick up some bright red and Indian yellow, titanium white. Just going to build a little bit of a peach color here. I want to see who, we've got quite a few people showing up. Hill, oh yeah, I forgot I was supposed to do this. Just really quick, I have to pause and say hello to a young gal. Her name is Kaylee. And this painting is on the way to you. Obviously not right now because I'm holding it, but after this episode, I'm gonna box it up and it's headed to you. I hope you like it. I hope I didn't spoil the surprise, Hill. Don't be mad. But it's coming from me. Haha. All right, here we go. Back to the peach. I'm just gonna put a little bit of a border around this yellow ochre that we have up here. And we'll just kind of soften those together there a little bit. That's nice. I think I'm going to add just a touch of this. I know I'm going to have some reflections down here, so I just want to add a tiny bit of this peach. I think it'll look nice. And maybe we'll have a little bit of clouds playing in the sky. We can use some yellow ochre and bright red just to throw in some of the base of that. That way we don't forget about them later. And then we can just incorporate a little bit of that. We'll blend this out later. Don't worry about it. That's what the liquid white is for. All right, I'm going to wipe out this brush a little bit. And I'm going to do a little bit of phthalo green, titanium white, It's good to see all of those names on the comments. It's kind of hard for me to see. My computer's really far away, so I'll have to say hi to you all in a few. I'm adding just a touch of alizarin crimson. Just want to kind of gray this phthalo a touch, not that much. That was a little too much. We'll go back. Touch more. There we go. Okay, now we have the right color here. We'll just get a little bit of this here, not too much. We'll blend this out later. And let's do a touch of that down for some water. A little bit more crimson. We'll get this side too. All right, now we're going to be playing with some colors. I'm pretty excited about this. Hopefully it doesn't backfire. We shall see. Let's do some midnight black. And we'll start with that on the top. Nice and thick. And we'll just soften that into that gray phthalo green color. Maybe just a touch more on this side. We'll have our sun kind of more towards the right. So we'll make this corner a bit darker. Don't forget, we need to add that into the bottom for harmony. We could just pull some of that and soften those edges into our orange. We don't need to blend too much more than that. But now we have a little bit less paint on the brush, and we can just very lightly put a little bit of gray in here. I'll let that go. And last, Prussian blue. Just a touch of Prussian blue. Almost just the tiniest little touch of it up in the sky up here. We'll barely notice that up here. Down below, I want it to be a little bit more blue. So I'm going to pick up a good bit of Prussian blue. Titanium white. Just right with that orange. A nice little pop. And back with some midnight black. We'll make sure this is our darkest part. Just with those two right on the brush, you can mix it. Now for the best part, the blending brush. And we'll start in our nice sunlit area here and work out. I'm blending pretty hard here. I just want it all to be a nice kind of soft gradient. But once we get up into this phthalo color, we can't really come back down. So we'll work this for a moment. Move into this nice light area. Soften and all of that. Careful here. Now, you move up, tighten up that stroke a little bit. Ooh, makes your hand kind of tired. Now, we've got that top nice and soft. I'm gonna work on just this one little area here. We are gonna have some clouds over here, but I will just soften this spot just a touch here. There we go. And we can do this whole bottom area now. Yeah, those are some good colors. Let's see some comments. Bob, I see you. Hello. Hill, you're still here. Glad to see all of you. Man, there's a lot of you here, so it's really cool to see you. Bo, thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. Glad you made it. I'm gonna put in some clouds. Just gotta give my arm a little bit of a break. That was some heavy blending. All right, now I'm going to use my fan brush and build a little bit of a peach color with some bright red and Indian yellow and titanium white. Now, kind of work on that, maybe lighten that up just a touch. We don't need it that bright. Touch of yellow ochre will kind of just dull it a tiny bit. That's nice. We'll come up right on this border and put in a few fluffy clouds. Maybe just one more. Let's do a little touch of alizarin crimson. A little bit more crimson up here. We need to protect ourselves against this phthalo so we don't have too green of a cloud, although sometimes it can be what we're after. Today is not quite what I have in mind. So we just add a little bit of crimson to it and it's safe again. Maybe just a handful more. Oh, some little ones here. We're gonna have a big mountain in here. I don't know how low or high, so we can just throw some of these in just in case. You never know. Maybe you change your mind and don't paint a mountain at all and do hills. You're allowed to change your mind. Now, let's blend those out. I remember wiping off this brush, but if you didn't, you'll be a little upset. So wipe out your blending brush. I know that we can still have little accidents and fix them, but something about a green sky that can really be unpleasing if that wasn't what you were doing or what you were trying to do. Now, we've got some nice bases for these clouds. Let's lighten them up. We'll use our same fan brush. Dip into just a touch of liquid white, just a tiny little bit, and right into our peach again. Our light's coming somewhere from this right-hand side, so we'll kind of just tickle around the edges and bottoms. Tickle their bottoms. That's funny. Titanium white, just a touch of liquid white is going to make this a little bit looser and it'll stick right on top. So if you have trouble, be sure to use a little bit of that liquid white. Ooh, I just love these colors. I have so much fun painting peach clouds. You could really go pretty crazy. And for the sunrises and sunsets, pretty accurate. So you can go crazy. It's happened somewhere, guaranteed. Now we'll just blend these out. We want to blend the back side of these so that our highlight stays nice and crisp on this right side. So we just pull a little bit of that back, soften it. Now we'll lift those up and just soften them nice and soft. Push them back. They don't need to be that close because we're going to put a mountain in. I like mountains. Now we're going to paint a little bit of a purple mountain. So I'll mix that color up and then we'll get going. I just mixed up all of that dirty paint we had. We'll pick up some more crimson, phthalo green, Prussian blue, just a touch of midnight black. But a pretty good bit of alizarin crimson. That will get it to our lavender side. And now we're going to add a lot of titanium white to about half of it. We'll take a little roll of that paint, and that's what we're going to use to paint our mountain. We want to use a little bit of a marbled paint because I want this to be further away and not super close up. And if we have too much pigment in here, it's going to look like it's just right in front of us. So. We'll put a mountain range kind of all the way across this one. Not quite according to my sketch, but we'll see if we can bring it back together. Now I'm going to take my palette knife or my blending brush. This is the blending brush. We'll just blend the bottom of this mountain, just kind of pull it down. Soften it. And then you can just get rid of all of those tap marks by going across. And then we'll lift it up a little bit. Kind of help to give a tiny bit of shape. Give yourself an idea of where the lines are. No big deal. All right, I'm gonna check in on the comments. I can't quite read them from way over there. Let's see where everybody is. Yes, just happy accidents, Kate. Welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for being here today for a purely live video, off the cuff. Haven't rehearsed this, and I literally just finished setting up my studio today. So I'm really excited. I don't even have everything unboxed. I'm just in here, just painting and enjoying it because it's been a really long time, and moving as far as we did was a little bit of a struggle, and yeah, had to put everything away and take some time off, but here we are back, and I'm so excited that you all are here with me. I'm inside, I'm not in a garage anymore, so that's nice, pretty nice temperatures, got a nice window, so pretty enjoyable. I'll definitely fill you in with some more photos in my Instagram. Check that out, Kaylee Rakowski Art. I do some stories and posts over there, sometimes on my Facebook as well. They share on both. So definitely check those out if you want some more day-to-day updates on the studio. Those are going to be rolling in here over the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited to show you all everything that we've been working on here, and to just jump back into recording episodes. So yeah, we're on 78 today. That's super, super wild to me. Looking back, I think I've actually been in 3 different painting spaces. Technically two different spaces for the Tutorial Tuesday series. I started in a back garage, and then I moved into another garage. It was a little bit smaller. And then before that, on my channel, you can see like some of my very first time lapses were actually inside as well. So that was before I went to having the official Tutorial Tuesday on my channel. So this is like the 4th iteration, and definitely is my favorite by far. Plenty of room to have more students in here, which I'm really, really excited to pick back up on my private classes. I do video classes and in-person private ones. So if you live in Boise, hit me up, Kaylee at KayleeRakowski.com. and we can book some classes. We'll be doing some paint and sip at a local restaurant, so you'll definitely want to get on my news feed over there and check it out. Okay, now I'm going to jump back into the painting. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. David or Flipperty, I know that used to be your handle there. Hi. Kate, again, hello. Everybody else, kicking it. I can't read all of that. Oh, Kirk. Hi, Kirk. So, okay, I'm going to jump back into the painting. I'll say hi to you again in a few minutes after we get this going again. But I just wanted to take a few minutes to say hi. So thank you all so much for being here. All right, now let's do some highlights on this mountain. I'm going to start with a little bit of our peach color. We're just going to keep that rolling. I really love these colors together. I've painted with them a few times. I just didn't have a lot of time to prepare much more for what to paint. I didn't want to think about it too much, so I thought we would just choose something that I knew I could paint and go live and chat with you all. So thank you all. Now I'm going to cut off a little roll of that peach color. Looking at it, I think I want to darken it just a touch, because we're going to do this in kind of 2 steps here. So a little bit more red and a little bit more Indian yellow. Cut a little bit of that paint off. And we'll start with our highlight. On the right hand side now, I think my dog just got stuck in the gate. I don't know if anybody could hear that, but my dog just knocked over the little kitty gate. Got herself stuck, but she's fixed now, so don't worry about it. Everything is fine if you heard that mini struggle in the background. All right, let's just bring this highlight kind of all the way down here. Wipe that off. Every time that you do these peach highlights, especially on top of this mountain that was supposed to be a little bit more lavender, it turned out to be a little bit more to the blue side. So you're going to pick up a little bit of that blue. You just have to be really careful. So you can flavor your paint a little bit more to the red side and just wipe off the knife before you reload it and start again. That's really, really important. Maybe these two will kind of come together there. Just kind of make that one just dance. Now I'm going to make a little bit of a shadow color. So we'll just pick up some titanium white and our mountain mixture. We'll head over to a different part of our palette here and add just a touch of blue, just a little bit. We want this nice and marbled. Now if your mountain was a little bit more to the purple side, when you pick up that mountain mixture, it's going to have that in it, so your shadows will have a little bit more of that purple in it as well. So it always adds the harmony to use the colors that you've already mixed up, like picking up your mountain mixture and putting it a little bit in your shadow. It makes a really big difference when you do these small things. Maybe over here, this whole thing is just kind of behind this other peak over here, and he's just all in the shadows. Maybe a little bit more over here. Now, let's see. Let's pick up a touch of the highlight and we'll just kind of throw it over into the shadow side. You can just, as long as your knife is clean, you can just pick up a touch of it and bring it in. Now, let's build a touch more. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of our peach color, add a touch of crimson and red, and more white. Something like this. bit over here. Just dancing it down. Now I think it might be kind of fun for anybody who's here watching if you'd like to hang out at the very end and ask any more direct questions. That could be kind of fun. So we'll do like a 5-minute, when I'm done with the painting, just a quick little Q&A wrap up with y'all, so we can do that and work a little bit more direct questions in, and yeah, just doing something super different today, so I hope you all enjoy it. Kind of have been out of the groove since I haven't really been recording. I forgot that I needed to like talk and say stuff, so anyway, we'll see if I can remember that. Let's do a little bit more shadow color, blues and white. We want it a little bit brighter than the last shadow color. Nice little pop there. I'll soften that one out. That got a little wild. Cool. I like it. I feel like I want to do a little bit of pink. So I'm just going to do titanium white and bright red. Just clean off a little spot here. So that it's more, definitely like more pink here. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe even a little bit more. Well, let's add a touch of crimson. Ooh, that's fun. Just like a little autumny maybe, or just some more sun hitting on some of the lower areas there. I don't know, but I like it. Okay, let's leave that. Pick up your blending brush. And we'll just soften that back. You can lift that up, soften it out. That thing's ready for some little foothills. Nice. Good to see everybody here. Thank you all for joining my first ever in a while. I don't think I've ever done a live painting that I can recall. I've definitely been live before. I've done a couple little things, but I don't think I've done a live tutorial Tuesday at least. So there's that. I did the live at that, at the mural that I did, but I wasn't really painting. I mean, I was kind of painting the mural, but anyway, it was kind of, that was a different one. Anyway. Okay, let's move on to this. I'm going to do a little foothill here. Let's just pick up the dirty 1-inch brush, go into our mountain mixture and a touch of sap green. And we do still want a little bit more of that lighter mixture, medium lightness. Let's just pop in something like this. We'll soften that out, and a little bit more sap green. darker still. Okay, now we can pick up our blending brush again, tap out the bottom. Soften it out. I give it a good bit of atmosphere over here, so we just want to blend it nice and soft. Lift straight up. Now, let's do one more little foothill. Might as well make it a little bit darker. Will just help us out here. We'll do all of our darks. Definitely a good bit of sap green though. Blending brush again. Soften and lift. We'll just get rid of some of those marks we made. No big deal. Now, let's do our little foothill here. Footy hill. Yes. I think that's a Bob thing. I can't really help it though. You say it once and you can't really unsay it. Okay, so we're gonna do like a little meadow out here with a bunch of pine trees. We'll just soften this back over here. A little bit more paint. Ooh, bonus of being inside. The heat just came on. That's cool. And you guys can't hear it. That's also cool. Well, maybe you can, but not as much as in the garage, having those heaters on. I'm just gonna pull down a little reflection here. There's gonna be one eventually. We'll just add a little bit of that. Now, whoop, throwing it on the ground. Number one, first time, new studio. Gotta break it in. I just want to soften this out. Looks cooler. Now, little bit of liquid white, and we'll just start to make some of these foothills pop out here. Give us a few ideas for some of our trees. And I think we'll probably go back and soften this out again later. We'll just start with a nice pop of green right on the edge out here. Our sun is coming from the right. Every time you reload, start somewhere new and work it a little bit. You'll kind of lose some of the paint. You can work with that so that you're not just putting a bunch of highlight and losing those lowlights. Just work with your brush. You can blend before you go pick up more paint. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe this one is going to come down and meet that one. You can do that. And we don't want to forget about this one over here. Now, just going to pat off that brush just a tiny bit here. Soften a few areas, just kind of bring them together, and we can even pick up a little bit of blue, just a touch of darker green here. Still different than our base color though. We'll add just a touch of contrast and shadow in a couple of these areas. Nice. Let's soften these together a little bit. Now, we're going to build, wow, I can't talk. We're going to build some trees. Mix up some paint. Made a pretty big mess. Liquid white always gets everywhere. And then you don't even realize it, and it's everywhere. Okay. With the palette knife, we'll mix up alizarin crimson, phthalo green, sap blue, Prussian blue, midnight black, all of our darks into a big pile. Doesn't have to be giant, but a pretty big pile. We're going to use a good bit. Now, I'm going to load the fan brush, nice and heavy with that. And we're just going to build a few little pine trees out here. And they really are going to be some small, kind of more distant ones today. We'll build a small little forest out here. I'm going to put in a few reflections. that was a big one. He needs a reflection. Let's do a few more. He could probably go pretty crazy and do a whole bunch out here, but I don't really want to do too many. Let's do, I think this one should be a little taller. And maybe we'll have a bigger one out here. And right into the water. Nice. Let's see. I think we need maybe, and I said I was going to be almost done, and then I put in 10 more. Isn't that like every artist though? I'm done. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. 3 hours later, and you're like, I'm still almost done. Let me know in the comments if that's you, because that's totally sometimes maybe me. Sometimes. Okay. But really though, I think I have to do it. I have to put in something bigger, something that big. And it's gonna be all the way in front. So we'll come back to that one in a second. Let's do some shore out here. Put in our dark, pull down. Now with your big blending brush, start in your nice light area. Nice. Now let's mix up. You know, I never put any of the dark sienna on here that I thought I was going to, so we're just going to have to modify that. Yellow ochre, bright red, just get a little bit of that. That was way too much. And let's try, we could just use some of our, that's really blue, I don't really want that. Let's do midnight black. That's a nice little brown there. Now we'll cut off a little roll of that and build out some rocks and our shore. And then we're going to come back in and fill it in with some of our little grasses and some highlights. We just need to throw in something. Give them a little bit of shape if you can. Now for a highlight, we'll grab that red, the same color we used before the midnight black, add some titanium white to it. Grab just a little bit more yellow, orange. Can even put some of that over here. Got just a little too strong, but that's okay. We can just work with it. Now, before we put in a water line, we want to pull just a touch of that brown into our reflection. Don't forget, water always runs flat, so you have to flatten it out, or those reflections just won't look right. Okay, now let's put in our big tree. I forgot this part. Oh, had an empty middle. There we go. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just so excited. I haven't painted and I'm really liking these colors. It's been really fun to do a live. I was pretty nervous, to be honest. I don't typically do, like, there's not a ton of editing on my videos. Just maybe a few things that we'll edit out just for ease and stuff. So it's not like it's that much different for recording, but it is live on the internet with only like a 10-second delay, as you all have seen. And that's really weird. So thank you all for being here and for all of you who've shown up so far. It looks like so far there's 36 people watching. That's crazy. That's probably far more than people that would normally show up for the Tutorial Tuesday. So that's cool. Kind of makes me feel like I have to do them more, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not ready yet, but maybe. Okay. Made this big tree over here. Let's just give that a nice little soften out. We're gonna do some highlights on these trees, and I was just cleaning out this fan brush. We'll just pull out some of the dark color that was in it before. But you don't have to get a new brush, just use that one. And then let's grab some of our browns and reds and whatever, just kind of marble those. It doesn't matter. Just pick something that's brownish, and then we'll tap a few stumps. We kind of want to make sure they've got something to stand on, holding them up. And then we can scrape out a few. We're not going to see too many of these. They're pretty far away. This guy, we'll see. I want to put in these details. They're pretty cool once it all dries. Okay, yellow ochre. I'm excited. This looks so cool. Yellow ochre. Dirty brush. So it's going to basically have that as the base, and we're just lightening it up. Let's grab just a touch of sap green, and I want a little, ooh, that was a lot. A little bit of Prussian blue just to darken it. I don't want it too bright, and the liquid white is necessary so that it can stick. So that's going to lighten it up, and then we've got to darken it again. Now we'll just tap on our highlight. Now it looks like it needs to be a little bit lighter so that it can stand out. So we'll just lighten it so that it pops against our grass in the background. Just a little bit. These are still really far away. They're pretty small trees. This one though, yellow ochre, liquid white. Now, I'm gonna clean off that brush a good bit, go into the liquid white and yellows. Let's get a good, nice yellow plus some red. And we'll just fix in, highlight a few little areas down by the water's edge, just to vary that up a little bit. And put in a few pops. Doesn't much matter. When this dries, you'll definitely see it, and you'll be happy that you did it. Now, one last thing, as we pull some of those colors into the water, and if you'd like, you can even take some of those greens, just a little bit of them, we can just add a little bit of green into our reflections. Let's do script liner. I didn't even get any brush wash out. That's crazy. I'll just use some of my dark paint here and load it into the script liners, twirl it, and you can actually pull out just a few little grasses. It'll pick up some of the thin and move it. So we'll get some little dark grasses just here and there. Right at the water's edge. Now let's mix up a waterline color. I ran out of white. I gotta get a little more of that. Titanium white. And some blue. Oh, that was too much. Now we'll thin that down. We want this like medium thickness for our waterline. We'll cut off a little roll. And maybe we'll just add a few of those water lines into our reflections down below. Maybe we can pick out some of those colors we were using. Just add in a few pops here and there. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to sign it, and then I'm going to answer some questions, and then probably go make some dinner because I'm hungry. Looks like I remember when I put all this paint out, the red, it squeezed out a whole bunch. So that'll help me with not having my brush wash, and I don't want to go get it. It's not very far, but anyway. Bright red. And it's a new tube, so it's a little runny. Makes perfect for my signature today. And we're getting, let's see, today's the first week of December, so we have only 3 more episodes of me signing as 2025, and then it's going to be 2026. That's crazy. This whole year flew by. It's just crazy. Every year it goes faster. $25. Okay, Let me put this hazardous paint, because I'm gonna get it on me, out of my reach. And my painting is all done. That's nice. I hope you all like that. I like this a lot. I like the peach colors. And yeah, so I guess we could just do a few questions. If anybody has some questions, just start popping those in. I know since there's a little bit of a lag, it'll take a few minutes. So I guess I'll just drink some of my seasonal cider over here. Yummy stuff. Let's see. Well, I know. Thank you. Who is this? Q? Biz. Very nice. Thank you. I hope you all had a really good time watching this episode with me. I don't really know what is to come for the channel. I know we're still going to be doing Tutorial Tuesday every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Hopefully we'll be able to get back into doing some of those Zoom edits like we had before when I had my intern in the studio with me. So we'll try and get somebody on board and getting those Zoom edits back for you. Until then, I'm not really sure what that's going to look like. We may or may not, pallet cam going in and out, may or may not. So we'll see what that looks like in the future for future episodes. Who is this? Oh, now they're coming in so fast. What does the magic white do? Magic white, or the liquid white, this is the primer that we use for the canvas. It's really important, actually. I hope you can see that. If you don't prime your canvas with this, you won't be able to achieve the same effects that I'm doing up here. So definitely want to prime your canvas with this. You put this on right before you start painting, and that makes it easy for all these colors to blend on a canvas. Will you grab me a small canvas in the back of that? We can see what it looks like when you are using a canvas that is completely dry, and you come up to a canvas and you try and paint on it, and it's pretty hard to paint on it. So you can see all these holes, the paint doesn't move, it's not very liquid and smooth. But if you use the liquid white on it, this is what I used to apply the liquid white earlier. Now, the paint glides on this. See what a difference it makes? So it makes it so much easier for us to use the paint. And it makes blending easier. It makes the painting itself, you can get better atmosphere. You can definitely get a lot more effects that I'm showing you up on the canvas, obviously, because you'd be using the same materials. But primarily, it just makes it easier for us to blend all of the paints on the canvas. And it avoids all of the extra steps waiting for everything to dry. You know, taking an oil painting and taking that 3 months or 5 months of a process and whittling it down into just an hour or however long it took me to paint this. So it kind of just changes the way that you paint in oils, so you can do it all in one sitting. If you don't want to paint in one sitting, using liquid white is kind of obsolete. So yeah, that's why we use the magic white or the liquid white product. I hope I answered that question, CPP1357. I see another question here. How'd you get to be so, I can't say the AS word because I'll get in trouble with YouTube, but thank you for the compliment. That's pretty fun. I guess I was just born like this. I never thought I was cool. You guys think I'm cool, so thank you for thinking I'm cool. Thank you, BitPix, for loving it. You're awesome. And Bo, again, thank you. Flibberty, David, thank you. If anybody else has any questions, definitely let me know. I'm probably just going to get on out of here and go get back to my unpacking. We have an entire garage full of stuff to still unpack, but I unpacked the studio so that I could paint because that seemed just super fun. So we're gonna get back to it, and I'll see you all next week for Tutorial Tuesday, episode number 79. Be sure to check my Instagram, Kaylee Rakowski Art. There'll be some update photos, just some stuff on my story, some things that are happening, and there'll be a few things that'll go up on the YouTube posts. But if you want to stay up to date, definitely check my Instagram. That's where it's all going to be. So love to keep you all up to date with that. Oh, and the t-shirts, the crew t-shirts, those are absolutely coming. I found all the paintings I need to take pictures for it. So I think we've got, who's on this one? Bo, Kate, Colin, Ed, Josh, Jamie, and Liberty, John, and Hill. So if you heard your name is on the shirt. So you probably should email me your shipping addresses because those are going to be on the way very, very soon as a gift from me to you for being part of my channel. I'm so excited for you all to take pictures in these shirts and send them to me so we can brag about all having matching shirts, and maybe we can wear them on Tuesday. And not in the same places, but we'll just know that we're all wearing our shirts at the same time around the world. That could be so cool. So I'm really, really excited. And for everyone else who is not on the shirt, those shirts will be available to purchase. I'll probably just put the images on the front and be like official crew, and without the names on it. I'm not really sure yet, but there will be some shirts available for purchase. But anybody whose name is on there, you get your shirt for free. So send me your email, Kaylee@KayleeRakowski.com, or else I don't know, I'll just have to give it to a dog that's named that or something. We'll figure it out. So yeah. All right, that's all for me. Hopefully I'll be able to end this live stream just as awesomely as I started it by not knowing how to do it. So here we go.